So, hello and welcome back. We're gonna be doing today the chapter 8, more stabbing. Because mostly it's our main skill, backstabbing of the Stalker that we're gonna be playing. But first of all, since we hit level 99 on the Rogue, by having some nice leeches of the Archbishop, it was time to do the job change quest. Pretty easy, like always, just pay the money, do some A's, talk to the NPC, and we're back to novice. So at this point, we already had like all the gears that we were supposed to have, everything, and we were already a high thief. So as always, it's just time to poke some spores around until we get to base level 13. Even a bit more, since I decided to do also the add-on quests that were from level 11. So mostly this is a pretty easy, straightforward, like usual, just to do spores, ant eggs, orcs. I mean, it's the best value for experience that almost always is really good. Like, there might be some other places that have better experience, but in my opinion, this is the fastest way and the most known one, since you have easy warps, easy access to them. They're not that far, like ant eggs just going, moving 3 maps basically from Morok. Spores, well, just 1 map from Bayon. And orcs is just a teleport from Geffen or from Frontera, so it's always pretty easy spots to do. Even so, we were a bit unlucky at this point, because somebody else was farming the eggs, so it took us a little bit more time than it should have to be done with this one. But still, it's not a huge problem, since we could actually start getting experience from the ants themselves, not the eggs only. So I could just be doing everything. And since this time I was prepared with the weapons and everything, it was time just to smack more eggs. So mostly I just kept on doing this. Meanwhile, somebody was asking me some questions on the Twitch chat about how to play with Archer, suggested spots. I was giving them some suggestions. So yeah, always whenever I can, if it's this server, another server you're playing, or anywhere while I'm live streaming, you have some questions, if I can answer, of course I will. I'll give my opinion and help out a bit. And if you're on the same server, I will help you out also to maybe level up a bit by leeching or by joining party, whatever. But yeah, sometimes we get this bug screen, so just the safest fix, like you can always do some commands to fix it, but in the end it just makes more time and being more annoying for doing that. And there I was just showing for the guys that was asking for Archer, the spots were, since he's playing a pre-renewal server, where to do. But yeah, we were done with the eggs, and since we were already base level 38, it was time just to go straight away for orc zombies. We hit pretty fast job level, and we changed to Stalker. So it was just time to get mostly backstab, and we were ready to start getting a lot of levels. Since the nice part of backstab, it adds us a lot of hit, even if we don't have, like per skill, it adds up to 50% more hit. So it becomes useful. And yeah, here I've got like really mobbed, so at least that's why I had my Archbishop on after follow, because I knew something like this would happen. So we just kept staying at orcs until we get our skills maxed, and it was time to try another spot that I've checked the experience should be better. But the mistake I did is I went alone. I should have went with my Archbishop. I noticed, hey, orcs are better in the end. If I have to auto-follow there on the Archbishop all the time, it's gonna be slow. And this time I've remembered that I have one of the AoE skills that I wasn't using before, because, I don't know, I forgot about it, honestly, on Ragnarok. It requires you to cast Hide, and after that, Sightless Strike. The only issue is you have, like, between you casting Hide, there's like some milliseconds that the mobs can hit you. So the Hide doesn't work properly. But hey, still it was going a bit faster than just single backstabbing. And we were able to get our base levels faster this way. Because we already got to the point where we can go to Harpies, Sleepers, Goats. Well, it was mostly for Goats here, because Harpies were still not giving the right experience, but they were giving us 1k, and that's being wrong experience was already better than doing all those orcs. And since we can backstab one hits them, it was going faster. Of course, I had some deaths, because I forgot to equip the right shield and stuff, but hey, it happens sometimes. So we just kept up farming Harpies until it was time mostly for us to go to Turtle Island, and here I remembered about the shields, that I wasn't using the proper ones. And I had the priest enough to follow, well, Archbishop. So it was making everything go a lot faster this time. Mostly because the experience is pretty nice, and I decided, hey, I'll just stay here and get as much experience as I can until it was time to go to Turtle Island again. And as usually, we just kept on start, just having the priest after follow. Seemed to be a little better, because in case I get overmobbed, I could just heal myself after, keep up the buffs, but it was going a lot slower rather than fly winging. So in the end, I decided just to leave on a spot the Archbishop and fly myself all the time and just backstab, backstab, and backstab. That was mostly the best experience that you can do. Like, as long as you can one-shot anything, it's gonna be faster. And at this rate, I noticed that I could be doing Dark Priests, which were almost double the experience of the Turtles. And of course, I could one-hit them. So I decided to go there. It was a bit less of job experience than the Turtles per each kill, if you make them in total. But, well, it was more job experience, but it was less per... it was more base experience job. But yeah, we are at the point where we can be doing some Magma Dungeon. So on start, I need to have my priest enough to follow, just to help me out with it. And I had copied Bowling Bash, because somebody actually gave me it, until this moment that I forgot to preserve, and I lost it somewhere around here. And I was doing also the daily quest for the eye patch that gives 15% more experience, which is actually really nice since it's account bound. You can change it to other characters, so it helps out a lot. But yeah, here I was killing more Harpies just to get that little bit of experience that I was needed, and to find the quest items, like you need to find a treasure spot, and you need to find also what's called, I can't remember the name now, You need to find those generals, zombies, or whatever they called, Captain Pirates. But yeah, at this point it was mostly back to Medusa, since we cannot complain about the horrendous hairs, since they needed also to make the runes for the Rune Knight, that will be coming back to the Rune Knight after this. And of course we just kept on spamming and just mobbing around, getting the most experience that we can from all of this. We've got to a point where we found Taugunka, and it just one-shot us, so I changed to the Rune Knight, went and just killed it pretty fast by simple auto attacks. So we just kept on stealing on the zombies, just for those coins, because we still didn't have the maxed out hat, like permanent, it was still rented. But in the end we did get the permanent hat, we did get the eye patch, which is the whole reason we created this character, just to make this faster for the Rune Knight. Honestly, I could have just stayed on the Rune Knight and done it there, and at some point from so many Medusa farming, we've got one of the cards, which was, well, we could have another Medusa carded shield for another character if we want. But yes, now it was time to go for real for Magma 2, since we could get experience. And we just kept spamming here for some time, until level 9970. So yeah, as usual, like this spot is the best level. Like we got, we didn't have the AoE because we lost it, but still, with backstabs, it was pretty nice to do it, because it kept giving us really nice experience. At some point, while leveling around here, we made friends with Lord Knight going for Rune Knight, gave him some tips, and he actually bowling bashed me at some point, so I had a new fresh bowling bash that I kept preserving all the time until it was job change time, because I forgot that I needed to preserve. But it wasn't a huge issue, since one of the benefits of Shadow Chaser is you get Fatal Menace right away. If you have the right skill points, you don't need any pre-requested skill points from Shadow Chaser to get your main AoE with Dagger. Of course, we have Plagiarism, but that's more for magical. I'm still needing to test it out with Ignition Break, but I don't think it will be better damage than Fatal Menace, especially since I managed to make myself a dagger for Fatal Menace with a Hunterfly card. Also, right now I'm using a triple Hunterfly carded one, so I do recover pretty much a lot of HP, especially on the mobs. And one of the reasons I was going in, going out with Archbishop when I died, because it was faster for me just to go rest myself rather than having to fly wing all the way back in. It was just slightly bit faster. But I finally had some extra HP, some vitality. I was using even the shoes that give me HP and SP, so I could survive a little bit more. But I was really heavy depending on Assumptio. Like whenever Assumptio ran out, every 1 minute I had to go back in and get myself a new one. Also, I've had the Cup of Lives that you get from the event that I'll end up using, because I was getting really fast kills and I just didn't want to go back and forth. But that's going to be later on. And of course we got one of the cards from here. Like, for always leveling here, you get at least one card of any that are here. You always get one, because there's like so many mobs that you kill. It's almost guaranteed that you will get one card. But yeah, we also needed to be careful with our base level and job level, because I didn't want to be stuck at level 99, not being able to use the infinite fly wings, and having to pop the bills before time. So I've decided to give myself some tax also, just to make the job level faster. Like the usual tricks, I was playing around with taxing, just to go as fast as we can. At this point, I was already hitting near level 95, 96, so it was not much left to do. And also had some issues, had to relog like 3 or 4 times to learn new skills. That honestly, they're not really that helpful in a huge mob, but if it's 1v1, it's really nice. It's a reject sword skill that I reflect damage basically to the mobs. It makes me take a lot less damage too. In a huge pool, it's not helpful because you can be hit and it's only 3 hits, so it goes away really fast. But if it's only versus 1 target, it actually helps a little bit while you just keep on backstabbing. And here I was asking about the bowling bash mostly. Well, not yet. Was talking about other stuff, but yeah, that's new friends that gave us bowling bash. In the end, I ended up helping him also to get sooner to Runite by giving him some leech once I was a shadow chaser, because I could kill pretty fast there. But yeah, it was just time having bowling bash and having backstab. So on big bowls, it was bowling bash just to move them away, backstab to kill a few, and just keep doing that progress. Which actually worked out to be pretty nice since I had more HP than before that I was doing it. And of course, I could actually even stay, like try to stay with a triple Hunterfly card for max damage and just out-heal myself. But yeah, I've decided here to drop the tax, if I'm not wrong, just to go faster. And the issue I had, like, since I left everything in the storage because I was way too overweight, I didn't have panaceas on me, so whenever I was getting cursed, oh, it was cursed, because I had to walk a lot around. But yeah, here I just rest myself, and we just kept going, and farming those nightmare terrors, deleters, well, Sky and Earth deleters, gigs, diabolics, the scorpions. I don't remember how they... oh yeah, they were called gigs, the scorpions. Yeah, I said blazers. But yeah, everything that was on the map was giving us experience. And we just kept on farming, and farming. Like, there's not much more else to say. But I did find, like, after I will be doing the job change quest, I found my new hate one. Because, oh god, it was pretty annoying. It wasn't hard, like by the damage that I was dealing and everything. It's just time consuming, going some places where you cannot fly wing, like some cities. The guides that I've like checked all the guides, so just copy paste of Iro guide mostly. So some spots you really need to be like careful to find because the houses are like marked with a huge red circle, not exact points. But anyways, we just kept up with all the stuff, which wasn't that really bad. I was expecting it to be slower, honestly, because I thought that I'm going to be relying in the end only on backstabs, and I thought even off some point that, hey, if I'm going to be just only backstabbing, I'm going to have to use the Archbishop to leech myself. But in the end, having that bowling bash actually really did help, because we hit level 99-70, and it was the time to start one of the most annoying job change quests ever. So first spot is you got to come to this guy, you need to talk to him. he will give you like coded words that you need to answer him. Here I kept like copy pasting from IroWiki all the possible answers, and there was like last ones that I didn't read. It was a good one. And it sends us to kill the ghost. So after killing the ghost, you have like talk to the stone. It gives us another question. I had to talk it. And here it was sending us to Rachel. So it was airship time. At least it didn't get attacked this time, because otherwise I would just have fly winged, reload another characters that I have, will stop the bend, warp myself to Ice Dungeon, which is where it sends us in the end. And I've discovered that you can go to the Nightmare Ice Dungeon here. I should have actually maybe checked how was the experience there. I didn't, because that might have been a fun place to level, but the mobs are really, really tanky, and I didn't have an ice pick, so it wasn't really that great, because I'd be spamming a lot just to pop one, this annoying Gazzettis with a lot of HP. But yeah, after dealing with that, it was time to deal with Niflheims. That actually I got really lucky, because once getting to the NPC I found the mobs that we were supposed to kill. And after that it was Juno, and from Juno it was sending us to mostly finish up at Thanatos. But yes, as always... Oh, no, before that it was Leitzachen, sorry. So yeah, it was more airship time that I could have just done by another way. But here we go. It sends us from Leitzachen to Thanatos Tower, which went pretty smooth, pretty fast, but yeah. Here I decided not to grab the airship, just to fly wing myself to Leitzachen, and it went a lot faster. And here we are, we're finally a Shadow Chaser. So I stayed a little bit more on the Shadow Chaser, since I just needed one base level to get the hat. I didn't have the Bowling Bash, but I had Fatal Menace. And even as low level Fatal Menace, I was dealing a lot of damage. The only downside about low level, like pre-level 6 Fatal Menace, you lose hit rate. So you might be missing sometimes. But once you get Fatal Menace up to level 6 or more, you're always going to be hitting. It's a 5x5 AoE. It's not a huge AoE compared to other classes, but still it helps out. And since you can really spam it with your attack speed, not unlike Windcutter, that it has some aftercast delay. So this doesn't have aftercast delay at all, basically. Because with the same attack speed, I cannot be spamming so fast my Windcutter as I can be spamming Fatal Menace. But also the damage is not the same, because there are some sets, some free sets that I attempted to doing all the quests just to... Like, I have the tokens to get the free one for 125, but I don't really want to follow much time right now playing with Shadow Chaser, because I know its damage is not going to scale over 50k, let's say. Even so it's fast spamming, it's not going to deal as much damage as a Rune Knight. And plus to that, like, my whole goal was just to keep on playing with Rune Knight. So this is going to be the end mostly of the Shadow Chaser, even so I did play it more than this video. I got it up to level 120, just missing basically 5 base levels that I might get it eventually another day, and I will just go with the set and show off the damage and just, or maybe on another event, farming. Anyways, thanks for watching and hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like, share and comment. See ya.